Antarctica isn't just the coldest place on Earth. It's the most inaccessible, the most restricted, and possibly the most hidden. There's water beneath 4 kilometers of ice. There's a scientific race for answers. But access was restricted almost from the start. A continent surrounded by ice, but the real barrier is legal. In 1959, 12 nations signed a treaty in Washington, the Antarctic Treaty. One rule: no military, no mining, no new claims, only science. But science comes with strings attached. Every project, every landing, every core sample, it's paperwork first, research second. The treaty's demilitarization clause keeps armies away, but it also locks down territory. No one can plant a flag or claim a patch of ice. In 1991, the Madrid Protocol added another layer. Antarctica is now a natural reserve, devoted to peace and science. For at least 50 years, all mining and oil drilling are banned. Not until 2048 can the question even be reopened, and only if every signatory agrees. Want to collect a rock, drill a hole, or step inside a protected zone? You need a permit. In the US, the Antarctic Conservation Act means a 30-day public comment period, then another 45 to 60 days for review. Similar timelines apply in Australia, the UK, and beyond. Every permit spells out what you can do, where, when, and how you'll avoid harm. Break the rules, and you risk fines, expulsion, or your country losing its research status. Then come the zones. Antarctic specially protected areas, now more than 70 sites, are off-limits without explicit permission. Some are so sensitive, even drones and helicopters are banned. The process is slow, deliberate, and designed to keep the continent as untouched as possible. The result? Antarctica is the only place on Earth where paperwork, not politics, draws the borders. If you are fascinated by forbidden discoveries and the hidden secrets beneath Earth's most extreme places, subscribe, because the next mystery we're revealing might be even bigger than this. On the map, Antarctica looks empty, but the emptiness is enforced. Over 70 Antarctic specially protected areas, ASPAs, are scattered across the ice, each one a no-go zone without a permit. That is more than 5% of the continent's land, locked away behind paperwork and red tape. Helicopters cannot land, drones cannot fly, even scientists with clearance are told, "Do not disturb." These are not just lines on a chart. They are hard boundaries, invisible but absolute. Try to look from above, and another barrier appears. Commercial satellites like Worldview are programmed to blur or pixelate the highest resolution images over these protected sites. Sometimes it is a fuzzy patch, sometimes the gray rectangle, sometimes the detail just drops off. A continent-sized blind spot in the age of global surveillance. Google Earth, USGS, even open-source map projects all show the same digital censorship. The message is clear. Some places are for official eyes only. On the ground, the human presence is a rounding error. 37 research stations operate year-round, that is, 37 outposts scattered across 14 million square kilometers. Most of the interior is untouched, unvisited, and, by design, unseeable. Volunteers cannot even tag features or upload photos to public databases if the area falls within a restricted layer. The rules are enforced at every level, from the ice to the sky to the data you are allowed to see. What lies inside these forbidden zones? Why do some patches remain hidden from the world's cameras? The more you look, the more the continent seems to vanish behind walls you cannot cross, and questions that only multiply. In the 1970s, Soviet planes flew low over the East Antarctic ice, firing radio waves into the unknown. The signals bounced back, flat, bright, impossible to mistake. A hidden lake, 4 kilometers down, stretching farther than the eye could ever see. Later, American and European teams joined the hunt. By the 1990s, sharper radar and digital mapping revealed the true outline: a buried giant, 250 kilometers long, 50 kilometers wide. That's 15,000 square kilometers, more than the size of Connecticut. Bigger than some countries. The numbers only got stranger. At its deepest, Lake Vostok plunges a full kilometer down. The average depth sits at 344 meters, but in the southern basin, it drops to nearly 1,000 meters. NASA's Operation Icebridge in 2009 mapped the lake in razor detail, confirming a continuous water surface sealed under a mountain of ice. This isn't a pond or a melt pocket, it's a subglacial ocean, untouched by sunlight for at least 15 million years. The sheer scale forced engineers to rethink what was possible. If a drill could reach it, what else might be waiting below? Every new radar pass sharpened the boundaries, but the mystery only grew larger. 4 kilometers of ice. That's the lid, thicker than the tallest mountain is high. Below, darkness reigns. No sunlight, not for a single second in 15 million years. The water sits at -3 degrees Celsius, but it doesn't freeze. Pressure keeps it liquid, about 380 bar, more than 370 times what you feel at sea level. That's like the weight of a skyscraper pressing on every square inch. Oxygen isn't just present, it's off the charts. 50 times more than in normal fresh water. The chemistry is alien, low nutrients, almost no dissolved gas, and a cocktail of trace metals leached from ancient rock. Every drop is squeezed, starved, and supercharged. Isolation here isn't measured in miles, but in epochs. The lake has been sealed off since woolly mammoths walked the earth. No wind, no rain, no outside life. Just a hidden ocean, locked away under a crushing, frozen vault. Any breach, any contamination could flip the balance, introducing foreign microbes or chemicals. That's why every step, every drill is a risk. It isn't just a question of what's down there. It's whether we can even glimpse it without changing it forever. Drilling in Antarctica is a gamble, where the stakes are measured in contamination, collapse, and the unknown. In 1971, Soviet engineers sent a drill 2 kilometers down toward Lake Vostok. The borehole Tianin, crushed by pressure, choked by shifting ice. Equipment lost, project halted, and for the first time, the question, what if we ruin what we're trying to discover? Caution turned to gridlock. By the mid-1990s, Russian and German teams imposed a moratorium, an embargo on any drilling that might breach the lake. No one could agree on how to keep the samples clean. Internal memos warned 1 drop of oil, 1 stray microbe, and a million-year-old ecosystem could be changed forever. For over a decade, the lake stayed sealed, the debate frozen in place. Then came the kerosene. In 2012, the International Lake Vostok Drilling Project pumped 60 tons of kerosene-based fluid into the borehole to counteract the crushing ice. Russian scientists argued the fluid would never reach the water. British experts like Dr. Martin Siegert sounded the alarm. What if even trace amounts seeped through? The risk, not just chemical pollution, but the possibility of feeding alien microbes to a world that's never seen them. Every meter drilled raised new doubts. Each decision forced a choice between scientific glory and irreversible loss. The lesson, in Antarctica, the line between discovery and disaster is razor thin. DNA fragments, nothing alive, just remnants, surfaced from Lake Vostok's ice. Proteobacteria, actinobacteria, firmicutes, genetic traces, not living witnesses. Dr. Peter Doran calls these findings relic DNA, cautioning that most sequences are shattered, likely dead for millions of years. The metagenomic scans offer evidence, but no clear story of life. Questions linger about why Russian teams delayed releasing raw data, and why secrecy clings to these samples. Doran insists the truth is stranger than fiction, but not the stuff of conspiracy. Over 400 subglacial lakes now appear on Antarctic maps, each sealed beneath kilometers of ice, each a possible archive of lost biology. Dr. Carolyn Porco, who led imaging on NASA's Cassini and Europa missions, draws a direct comparison. Lake Vostok is the closest thing we have to Europa's ocean. Both are locked away, isolated for eons, both tempting grounds for the search for life beyond Earth. 5 possibilities remain. Vostok is sterile. The DNA is contamination, dormant spores await revival, unknown metabolisms exist, or something eludes detection entirely. 4 kilometers of ice, hundreds of hidden lakes, and only fragments to guide the search. Today, the ICE keeps its secrets locked, 4 kilometers deep, watched by treaties and satellites. What's hidden isn't just ancient water or DNA, it's the limits of what we're allowed to know. And in our next video, we reveal an anomaly even scientists struggle to explain.